Well, I didn't really know what to do with this request, so I know you're Snooker Loopy nuts, so here we go. Might as well, rather than just talking, I might as well try and sing it. So, Snooker Loopy nuts are we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue. Pot the red, then screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker Loopy nuts are we. We're all snooker loopy. Bum 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 bum.
Hello and welcome to what was it was a wonderful Wednesday, Joe. It was a fantastic. I've already said your name. I've said it too early. Oh my god, I'm not even giving him a nickname. Quick, panic. He's lean. He's keen. He's ready to go. It's Joe Hannard.
Well, a very good evening, Hazel, and a very good evening, everyone at home. Certainly not lean, but very much keen to get into our podcast today. Welcome. I'm feeling a lot fresher today after a reasonably early night yesterday. Apologies if I looked groggy to people at home, but yeah, we are here. And we know our semi-finalists. It's been a wonderful day of snooker. It really has. I didn't catch much of the morning session, but certainly the afternoon and evening was absolutely brilliant. And I think we've got 4 worthy semi-finalists, and any one of them could be world champion.
For that, Joe, let's chat about Rob Walker saying what I just said about Wu Yizer. He seems to, he's not giving him a nickname, he just goes, he's lean, he's keen, he's ready to roll, it's Wu Yizer. And I don't know why he's not giving him a nickname, and he's just describing how he looks for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hazel. Hazel has come up with quite a few nicknames this tournament for players, and her one for Wu is One Visit Wu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good name. I quite like that. One Visit Wu.
One Visit Wu.
I mean, it's better than he's lean, he's keen.
Yeah. It basically just saying he's skinny, you know.
I wouldn't say that, but he's not going to go, he's fat, he's Pratt, it's Stephen Lee. He's not going to do that.
I can't remember what Stephen Lee's nickname was, to be honest with you. That eludes me.
Rolls-Royce Q action, I remember them saying.
And I thought, is that his official nickname though? I don't know. I'm sure Tom will find out. I mean, he is the king of nicknames, as we have found out in our Quiz Wakeland journey throughout this World Championship. But
the only other size-related nickname I can think of is Zhang Anda, being called Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, yeah.
He's quite short, so
Snooker's Chinese panda, Zhang Anda.
I do quite like that one, to be honest. Let's quickly look up Stephen Lee's nickname, but it might be loads of swear words nowadays. Oh, Joe, do you want to?
He loves this one.
Well, this is AI on Google, and this just proves why AI was both awful and just funny. Stephen Lee, the former English professional snooker player, was frequently nicknamed the Fat Man, or simply Pie Man.
Pie Man?
I don't think that was his official nickname, Google.
I mean, poor guy. Poor Steve.
Yeah.
Hasn't he been through enough?
He'll lose for a fee. It's Stephen Lee. How many Pie Man is the one I've seen a few times? That can't be his actual name. It's horrible.
Well, let us know if you remember any Stephen Lee nicknames, everybody, down below in the comments. But
oh my gosh, Joe, I have found something incredible.
Ooh.
This is a BBC Sport article from 21st of January 2002. John Higgins is called the Kid on the snooker circuit, a nickname which is derived from his boyish looks.
Let's
bring that back.
How times have changed, hey? Big Hig.
Oh, I like to be he changed from the kid to Big Hig. That's the evolution.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, should we start with John Higgins, because he is just immense, isn't he? We obviously had the morning session today with Neil Robertson and John Higgins starting up again, and obviously Neil Robertson was sort of pushing ahead in the match, but John Higgins managed to get it back on terms at 6-all, I think it was, at the mid-session interval. But Neil Robertson then won the next 3 of the next 4 frames to take a 9-7 lead, which of course is the same lead Ronnie took into the evening session. And well, apparently John Higgins just likes coming from behind, doesn't he? And I'm not going to say any more than that about Big Hig. But he does enjoy that, I've heard. He won 6 of 7 frames tonight. What an unbelievable performance! And some of the pots he pulled out under pressure. I mean, at 11-10, he potted an incredible yellow to get onto the green with the rest. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Neil definitely didn't see it coming, did he? So
he didn't see it coming. No.
And,
but Neil just sort of did what he's done over the last 10 years at the Crucible. He just went into this really negative, slow play, and he came out in his post-match interview and said, "Oh, I was trying to open the balls up. I was trying to play attacking." Didn't really see any evidence of that, if I'm honest. So I don't know what match he thought he was playing in, but disappointing from Neil Robertson again, I think, in that final session.
I felt it was. I think most of the match was quite disappointing by both players. Really, I don't. About halfway through the evening session, I was just thinking, I reckon Ronnie could have beat either of these, and it made it a bit more disappointing. But then, to be honest,
I think Ronnie would have hammered Neil Robertson playing like that.
But then I think just Sean Murphy's a level above any of them this tournament anyway. So I just feel a bit like if Sean gets 80% of how he's been playing, I feel like he's going to be doing the Smurf 360 in the final.
Well, here's hoping. I have got me Sean Murphy shirt on.
I've skipped ahead there talking about Sean Murphy because, of course,
no.
It's just the excitement at the end of the day of snooker, and we can just you do feel the adrenaline after a good session like that, don't you? You start kind of go, I can't sleep. I want to just chat about John Higgins.
Well, yeah. I mean, John Higgins was unbelievable. Certainly in the last couple of frames, really killed it off nicely. He struggled to get over the line in the last frame, but once he did, he thoroughly deserved it, I think. To hang on to Neil Robertson after what he went through against Ronnie, really, really good. And he, it's great to see him back in the one table setup. And I think on form this season, I know Neil Robertson is the number one on the 1 year list, but I think John Higgins has probably had the better season in terms of some of the tournaments he's got to the final of. Obviously, Neil won the Saudi Masters, and that sort of skews everything
massively.
So I think although Neil's had a very consistent season, a very good season, John has probably been a bit more of a highlight this season than Neil. So it feels fair for him to be in the semi-final of the Worlds, and absolutely fair play to him.
Of course, it'll be him or Murphy in the final, and because Murphy was incredible today. Again, he just seems to have found something, and he's probably playing the best at the Crucible he's played for many, many years. I don't remember him being this good at the Crucible.
Yeah, he played really well in 21, where he came back against Kyron in the semi-final. I don't know if you remember that. I think he was maybe 14-9 down or something, ended up winning 17-15. It was a Really, really solid performance from Murphy. That's where his big fist pump started coming in, the big Smurf 360. It's been more of a Smurf 180 at the moment with the two-table setup, so I am hoping to see the Smurf 360 make its full return when we're down to the one-table setup in a matter of hours as this goes on air. But yeah, I mean, he seems to have got rid of that lapse in concentration when he gets to 60 points. He's very, very focused. He stays down on the shot. And that's been the thing since the 2025 Masters that he won. I don't think I've seen him play badly since then. He's lost matches, of course, but he's certainly a much more consistent player than he ever has been. So, yeah, I think Form Guide suggests him in the semi-final makes sense. But, of course, he was 45 points down in the decider against Fan Zhengyi in the very first round match. And while a fan had potted that red into the middle pocket at the end, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now.
No, that's always the fine margins, though, isn't it, at the Crucible? Because, pretty much every match apart from that has felt far more comfortable because he's always been, he's won by a couple of frames or a few frames. It's never felt like, he's been in trouble. Do you know what I mean? He's not had a Higgins moment of, you've lost that 5-3 or whatever. He's always felt like he's been in control, and he's playing quickly as well, getting his matches finished, so he'll be fresh, which will definitely help.
I think especially against Higgins, who I think is going to be drained. I thought he'd be drained for the Robertson match. It just so happened that Robertson also didn't really play well. But if Murphy turns up, Higgins is probably in trouble. He's going to have to really step up his game and play like he did in the last session against Ronnie, I feel.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, but yeah, Higgins was, I guess, comfortable against Robertson in the end. It was very, very tight, and then he just pulled away at the end. He kind of sprinted to the finish, really, didn't he? Like, it was really, really tight, and then he saw the finish line and he started going.
Well, yeah. He must have been thinking these pockets are tight, Hazel. That's what he must have been thinking.
He was, yeah.
Especially when he was hitting it so hard at the end. Well, why did he hit it so hard? Dennis wasn't very impressed, was he? But interestingly, no. Murphy and Higgins both won 13-10, so, similar score lines there. But I think Higgins, had he not got over the line when he did, I think it would have been a real struggle for him after that, because he was starting to shut down a bit towards the end, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on at 1 o'clock tomorrow. They're first up. Obviously, the first session of the semi-final isn't massively important, but he doesn't want to lose it 7-1 or 8-0. So, he's got to keep it at least to 6-2 as the worst possible scoreline for John, I think, to stay in the match.
Of course, the big story, though, of the Murphy result, Joe, the curse continues.
Indeed, yeah, the curse lives, and it feels like so much has happened since that's been the case. Xiao just didn't really come out tonight playing relaxed. I think he's maybe been getting away with it all tournament, and then today he was finally punished. I think he has been under pressure. It's not really how we expect Shinton to play. He's usually so fluent, he's usually so relaxed, and he has looked edgy. He has missed a lot of easy stuff. And yeah, somebody finally punished him. Sean Murphy was the one, and the curse lives on.
I do wonder whether part of the curse comes from the fact that the champion has to do so many media events that maybe they're just knackered.
It could well be the case. I did see a tweet before, though, saying we will never know which curse got him. Was it the Crucible curse, or was it the Ding curse?
It could be. It could be either. It could be absolutely either. Or was it both? Did we need both at the same time to take
maybe
him down?
Maybe we did. But yeah, the curse lives on. Whether there'll be another shot at the Crucible curse next year, who knows? Obviously, there's two people left in the tournament that could potentially break the Crucible curse next year. And that is Mark Allen, who, of course, came through against Barry Hawkins. I mean, what a match that was all the way through. I think Barry, a bit hard done by in the end. He played incredibly well throughout the match. He's probably not going to have played many better matches at the Crucible, and he's come out on the other end of it. Mark Allen seeming to find something right towards the end.
Again, I had a real feeling during parts of Higgins against Robertson when it was a bit cagey and the standard wasn't as high as some of the other matches, and I just had a real kind of feeling of this shows how important what side of the draw you're on or where you are, because I was like, I reckon Barry Hawkins could have beat both of these as well. So it just sometimes depends where you are, because I do feel like the way Barry's played, he's very unlucky to not be a semi-finalist, because I do feel like he's played well enough to be one. So it's just kind of luck of the draw sometimes, and obviously who you play on the day. But yeah, Mark Allen's fascinating really, because I don't think anyone was backing him. Maybe he's better going under the radar a bit, but he could become the first finalist from Northern Ireland since a certain Dennis Taylor.
Well, I'll tell you what, there'll be a few fans back in County Antrim that'll be cheering on the pistol. I mean, Mark Allen, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? It's only, I think, his third appearance at the one table setup at the Crucible. 2009, 2017, I think, was another time he was. So maybe it's his fourth. I think he has been there reasonably recently as well. So, yeah, I mean, Mark Allen. Whether he's got enough to win the World Championship over the other two players on the other side of the draw, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't backing him at the start. You really weren't backing him at the start. You were very anti Mark Allen at the start of this tournament. And actually, you know, he got away with it against Zhang Anda. Anda played really, really well in that first session. But it shows every year you've got to pace your run. You cannot come. What?
No, Shaganda's still in it. He beat Neil Robertson tonight.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry. I always get those two mixed up. Shaganda, John Higgins. I always get them mixed up. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, you know, it shows that you shouldn't peak too soon in the World Championship, and it looks like Mark Allen's coming to the Boyle at a really nice time. Same with Sean Murphy. So, I mean, it would be a cracking final if it was between them two, because they've had plenty of banter over the years, to say the least, haven't they?
I think there'd be a little bit of needle there, a little bit of a few Murphy fist pumps coming out, I reckon, in that, if that was the final. But to get to the final, Joe, Mark Allen has to beat a man who, well, if he did get to the semis in 2009, at least at that point, his opponent, Will Yizzer, would have been 5? Which, you know, it's another of these young Chinese players, but Will Yizzer is... he's definitely... He's been backed by a lot of people. You know, I think Hendry's probably already said he's going to win 10 world titles. Along with the 4 today that he said Xingtong's going to win, in his opinion. I don't know where the numbers come from. I don't know how you quantify it, because I'm sure everyone, when Ding lost in the final, would have said, "Oh, he's definitely going to win one." You can't just. Do you know what I mean? I think people get. I think it's fine saying I expect that player is good enough to win a world title, but I think saying they're going to win 4 world championships when they've won 1, it's just jumping the gun a bit. I don't get how you can just set that number. Anyway, he's going to have to beat Wu Yizzer, who. I mean, probably the most comfortable of all the quarterfinals. He didn't look too troubled by Hossein Vafai, did he?
No, not at all. You know, I did watch a decent amount of that match, and Wu was was really good, and I've been really impressed with him all tournament. Actually, saw him against Mark Selby in his first round match live in the arena, and he is a joy to watch. I've become a real fan of him this tournament. So, as much as I want Smurf 360 to get his hands on the trophy again, I wouldn't be sad if Wu Yize was the world champion. He's been a breath of fresh air, I think. He seems like a really nice guy, and yeah, he's felt like he was starting to bottle it again. Whether he can get over the line or not, I don't know. Hossein couldn't punish him though. But maybe Wu's been perhaps the most impressive consistently throughout the tournament so far. Obviously, he won 10-2 against Lei Pei Fan in the first round match. That's a really solid victory. Then he beat Mark Selby very comfortably, to be honest. And then he's beaten Hossein, who of course knocked out Judd Trump. We can't forget that Hossein, yes, he was the only qualifier to get through the first round, but he beat Judd Trump, the world number one, pretty convincingly in that deciding frame. And yeah, so yeah, Wu's sort of gone under the radar, certainly in these quarterfinals, because the other three matches were definitely more high profile, and he'll come out tomorrow. And I do think, for me, he's the favourite against Mark Allen.
It would be. I would say it depends how he settles. It depends how he settles in that arena. He's never played in a single table setup before. He's also probably never played a match of that length before. Definitely not a match of that pressure. And
yeah. Well, it was his first best of 25 against Mark Selby earlier in the week, so he's definitely not played a best of 33.
He's shown no signs of nerves or anything like that so far. And I believe is he only the third Chinese player to reach the semi-finals after Ding and Xingtong?
Yeah, unless you count Marco Fu, obviously from Hong Kong, but yeah, I guess the fourth Asian player, if you like.
CGRE,
yeah, of course. So yeah, there has been a bit of a Chinese revolution in the World Championship over the last 10 years. If you go back as far as Ding Junhui reaching the final 10 years ago, that has been the Chinese revolution. Of course, Marco Fu reached a couple of semi-finals before that, but yeah, fingers crossed for Wu to settle down. I think he will play really exciting snooker, and it could be very similar to that Xiaohui match where he could get a big lead against Mark Allen and then crumble at the finish line. That could well happen. Wouldn't be surprised.
It's very hard to call, I feel like Murphy is probably going to beat Higgins. I just feel like he's playing so well, and I feel like Higgins has been scraping through, playing very, very well to scrape through. Do you know what I mean? And doing very well and digging in and really showing, that grit and those battling qualities that we all know. But I just feel like in terms of scoring power, if Murphy can keep getting over the 70 line in terms of breaks, then I think he'll take it. If he falls back into his thing of breaking down in 50 odd, that's when Higgins is going to come back every frame.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if one thing is certain about John Higgins that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years, he can get to finals and semi-finals, but big matches. But when he gets there, he tends to crumble these days because his stamina isn't as strong anymore. We saw that in the Masters final. We saw that in the Tour Championship against Xintong. We saw it time and time again where Higgins, I think it was even against Wu Yize in the International Championship or a similar tournament around that time. He's been in a lot of these big matches and sort of fallen short. when he gets there. So I'm hoping Higgins can put in a good performance. I think he will. But I agree with you. I think Murphy's a man on a mission, actually. And I think he's, if anybody believes in the snooker gods and all, when your name's written on the trophy and all of that, I think Sean does. And he will firmly believe that this is probably the best chance he's ever going to get. The draw he's got now, he's not having to play Ronnie and Judd Trump and Kyron Wilson, players that have really imposed themselves as the best players in the world over the last few years. This might be a bit of a opportunity for him.
Well, I mean, definitely, we said it even yesterday. Whoever's on that side of the draw is going to be the favourite as a former champion. Although, I mean, that's the exciting thing. I think when you get to the semi-finals, you can't write anything off. Like even someone like Jack Jones, who got to the final and was really unfancied, but still for a second, he had a shot, he had a chance. Anyone on their day can turn up and pull it off. That's the magic of snooker and the magic of stories like Dennis Taylor and Joe Johnson and all these people, is that they can shock and surprise us. So who is your pick from here, Joe? The four left.
Murphy will beat Higgins, I think 17-12 is what I'm going to go there. So Murphy will play Wu Isa, who will beat Mark Allen 17-10.
I reckon Murphy will win 17-14, and I'm going to go Mark Allen to win 17-15. I don't know. I just feel like I'd enjoy that as a final. I would just like seeing those two.
Well, how attacking would it be between Wu and Murphy? It would probably be the most attacking final ever. Probably akin to Higgins and Trump in that 2019 final, that first session where it was just unreal snooker. Snooker from the gods, as Stephen Hallworth might say. But no, I'm really excited to see how the last four turn out. And again, I'm not opposed to any of them winning the World Championship, and that's a lovely position to be in. If Ronnie was there, we'd both be like rooting for Ronnie the whole way, and it adds an extra stress onto the situation, I guess. Especially considering I'm going there on Sunday. If there was a chance of seeing Ronnie, I'd be having kittens over the next 3 days, probably. But yeah, there's always next year for that, isn't there? When Ronnie will get his 8th next year. I'm certain of it. In the 100th year, it just feels right that that's going to happen. Early prediction in already. But anyway, let us know what you think down below in the comment section. We've had loads of comments recently, and obviously on Fancheng email, or as somebody called it, Lepe fan mail, which I also like hearing that. snookerloopypodcast@gmail.com if you want to get in touch. Now, I know Tom wanted to read out a few of the comments, and then I'll sort of round up the Fancheng email that we've had, because we've had quite a bit, Tom.
Yeah, we got one comment from someone who said, okay, so get this. This is the 3rd or 4th day listening to you guys, so welcome aboard. It's good to have you as part of the Snooker Loopy family. Last night, I was at my 8-ball league game, and one of the guys was talking about the wrestling scene here back in the 70s and 80s. I told him I used to play snooker with one of the wrestlers about 10 years ago. His name was the Maltese Falcon. No joke. Lots of Maltese people in Melbourne, Australia. So good day. Lovely to be in Australia. How exciting is that?
Yeah.
There we go. And we've also had a comment from someone called Jerry Gunn. Where's he from? He left us a comment. I think he's from America as well. So we've gone international, Joe. We've
Yeah,
gone.
I've seen lots of comments. You know, we obviously had Zayad from Singapore. We've had somebody from New Zealand was getting in touch the other day. Los Angeles.
Jerry Gunn in Los Angeles. So there we go. We're worldwide. And another comment, Jonathan Ward said, he don't know why, but he burst out laughing when Joe said Pucker Pies.
The Pucker Pies UK Championship.
It does sound good in your accent.
Thanks. Unlike Zhao Xintong, apparently. But, you know.
Can you do?
Brilliant.
That's my little YouTube. That's my Lepe fan YouTube mail.
Yes. So we will go through it. Of course, we have some emails from Matt from Middlesbrough. So we will read through his
Good luck to the Borough for this weekend, Matt. I hope they somehow manage to go up.
Yes. No, me too. Be good to have 3 Northeast sides in the Premier League for the first time since 2009, I'm guessing, when Middlesbrough and Newcastle went down that year. But anyway, let's go into it. So the subject of this is Anda, a Chinese snooker story. Good evening, Hazel. Good evening, Rishi. You better be in your own dressing room, Rishi. Good evening, Vicky. Selby, stop humping Vicky. I'm not sure you can tell him to do that, really, but, you know.
Why is Dennis watching? What's going on?
He's always got his eyes on where Vicky is. Just when you thought the leaked image from the upcoming Zhang Anda documentary starring John Higgins was crazy, we now have a movie poster. Take a look at the official poster for Anda, a Chinese snooker story coming fall 2026, starring John Higgins, supported by an incredible cast. I can't wait to go and see it. Brackets, yes, I'm going insane. Ronnie's gone out, and this is my way of coping. Matt. So, I will share this with the viewers.
That's very healthy, Matt. A very healthy way of coping, actually.
And the viewers can have a little nosy at John Higgins while I send this to Tom, so he can peruse it as well. So, I mean, this is pretty incredible, to be honest. I'm zooming out a little bit. You've got John Higgins there carrying his cue. I mean, he's carrying it in a very conspicuous position. Yeah, he's got his school uniform on there. Now, there's some explosions in the background and people jumping out of the window. Now, it could be Mark Selby, that, you know, in the background, coming out the window. There's possibly Zhao Gudong behind John on the left there. They've crossed cues a fair few times over the years. But there you go, starring... Oh, here we go. Also starring Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mark Williams, Stuart Bingham, Sean Murphy, Stephen Hallworth, and Dominic Dale. Finally getting his break. Well,
I mean, I think we would all go and see this on opening weekend because he looks a bit like a more smiley version of Jason Statham for me. He's more...
Bruce Willis from
it is Bruce Willis,
yeah. Brucey, that's an older Brucey bonus. So thank you very much for that, Matt. And then we've heard from Chris Reed, who, of course, we haven't heard from for a long time, but wonderful to hear from Chris. Good evening, Hazel, Seema, Rishi, Katrin, and the like. I had a rather amusing thought, so I thought I'd pop in some Fanjing email or Lepe fan mail. It was Chris that said it. Given that Judd Trump usually resides in Dubai these days, barring current difficult circumstances, obviously, does this make his match with Hossein Vafai a Middle Eastern derby? I suppose it's rather like when Judd was home favourite for the Hong Kong World Grand Prix last season. Anyway, I hope you're both keeping well, and thanks very much for the plethora of podcasts we've been treated to over the world. Good night, Hazel and all. So thank you very much, Chris. What's your thoughts? Was it a Middle Eastern derby?
It very much could have been. Yeah, maybe that's what they were chatting about at the end. Do you know what I mean? Maybe maybe they Judd had to just calm down the rivalry because it was too aggressive between them because they're local rivals. They probably went to school together. Judd Trump and Hossein Vafai in Dubai, where Judd now is calling his home. It's weird, isn't it? The whole you could just move somewhere and call it your hometown, because I guess it is if you live there. But
yeah,
he's not got citizenship of there, has he? Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of an odd one.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, Chris, for getting in touch. Next, we have got Archie Smith, who's a good friend of the podcast. He says, "Dear both, hope you're well. Yesterday I was quite poorly, but managed to catch the final 2 frames of the Higgins versus O'Sullivan and see parts of the Selby Wu match, but was too unwell to watch any of the evening session, but still watched the podcast and absolutely thrilled for Hussein to beat Trump because it must be so tough for him with what's going on in his country, and he's admitted to that, and I do think he is a dark horse this year, potentially a Brussels. I definitely fancy him beating Wu. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, hindsight and all that.
Yeah. Joe, I hope you had a great time at the Crucible, but what I'm intrigued about was where the BBC in the Winter Gardens, because on the day you went, they were in the practice room morning and evening sessions. Disappointed to miss out on Dennis being in the studio, because BBC Sport usually they've got the coverage on the website, but on that day they only had Table 1 and Table 2. They didn't have the BBC coverage, which was weird because, of course, they were doing stuff from the studio. I mean, they weren't at the Winter Gardens the day I was there, which was a bit strange. And it would have been really cool if Dennis was in the Winter Gardens. That would have been awesome. But didn't happen for whatever reason that day. But then I noticed they were in the Winter Gardens at night the other evening, and there's a picture of Hazel and Steve and Ken on Twitter with coats over them because it was freezing cold in there. So yeah, that was a strange one. But obviously they finished with the Winter Gardens today. Still don't know if they did any sort of pop quiz or anything like that. I don't know if you saw anything, Tom, but
there was one feature. It was Steve Davis talking to someone doing an impression of Steve Davis.
And that's the extent of their features this year.
Well, it did make me think we should get you doing Dennis on next year. Because you were better than this Steve Davis person. He wasn't bad. He was good. But I think I did watch it going, we can definitely get Joe on doing Dennis, chatting to Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis chatting to Dennis. But the thing is that I can't really say, where's Vicky? There's Vicky. to Dennis. To his face, anyway. Because he'll be like, how dare you? I never worry where Vicky is.
This had so basically the feature was Steve Davis was interviewing this person pretending to be Steve Davis,
right. And
Steve Davis was pretending that he was chatting to Steve Davis. It was odd. It was an odd feature. Really weird.
So yeah, he said he feels the Winter Gardens were being used less this year. Don't really get why. It must just be morning and afternoon. Then practice room in the evenings. It makes more sense to me. I'm heavily looking forward to Friday night's stream of the semi-final. I'll try my best to make it. And this is a silly picture from all the way back in the BBC's promotional video at the UK Championship, and was the video thumbnail. And to make it more hilarious, it was locked in at the top of the BBC Sport website. I hope you like it. Thank you, Hazel. Ding John Way. So, So we've got another cracking picture here, Tom. I think you're going to enjoy this. So I'm going to send it over to you while the viewers are having a little look at it. And it's our good friend Mr. Taylor. And what on earth he was doing is anybody's guess.
Oh my God!
Go on, Tom. Tell us what's going on in Dennis's mind there.
I mean, I think it's X-rated. I'm not sure whether we're allowed to say what's going on in his mind there.
I think what he's saying there, Tom, is
what could it possibly be, Joe?
I tell you what, Hazel, these pockets are tight. That's exactly what he's saying right there.
That's going to be in my nightmares.
Yeah, with exactly that face. That's exactly how I imagine him saying that. But there you go. Thank you very much, Archie. And then, Tom, we got some more cracking stuff here from Matt from Middlesbrough. So Barry the Bird, this is called. Good evening, Hazel. Good evening, everybody at home. I'm not sure if you caught my last message, but the official poster found it. Yes, we got that. Also, it's ironic you were talking about Barry Hawkins dressed up as a bird, considering this is his rumoured attire if he makes the one-table setup in the semi-final. Doesn't he look intimidating, loving the daily podcasts? Well...
what has Matt done now?
It's getting quite worrying now, isn't it, that Matt's spending all his time at home doing this. I mean, he's got to get over Middlesbrough somehow, but we, of course, talked about Barry Hawkins perhaps wearing a hawk suit, and that's exactly...
good Lord!
That's exactly what's happening, apparently, Tom.
What? Why is he looking... He's looking towards the camera like he's Leonardo DiCaprio or something. What the hell?
I mean, he looks a bit like Mark Williams there.
Right, Matt, I think this has to stop, mate.
Yeah, you need to get some help. And fast. But
I like as well the fact there's someone sat behind him with their arms crossed as if they're really unimpressed by his outfit.
I mean, the worrying thing is he's also sent another email, Tom.
Oh, no. No, Matt, please.
The Crucible curse strikes again, with Zhao Xintong falling to the feet of the Smurfs 360. But who knew Sean versus Neil could be such a thrilling encounter? They seemed to enjoy a tussle a few years ago. So, yeah, it appears I can't send that to Tom while I'm live on air, so we'll save that for tomorrow's podcast. But yeah, Matt, you need help, serious help. But we have one more here from Snooker Fan. This is this person is called, and it's called Fanjeng Email. That is the title. So, good evening, Hazel. Good evening, Joe. Good evening, Tom. Thank you very much for your brilliant podcast. I've been semi-regular listener for some time now and haven't missed an episode since the start of the year. I honestly can't believe it's taken me this long to finally send you a message, especially since I'm a massive fan of snooker songs and probably have the biggest collection of them. On one of your recent episodes, you mentioned that you gave Chaz and Dave's Wallop a rating of 0 because it wasn't snooker related. I'm pretty sure you made a mistake there. They actually re-recorded the song to include some snooker references. So could you please do me a favour and give the actual song another listen? Here's the link. So he's passed us a link for this. Thanks for providing us with such amazing daily podcast, such an entertaining daily podcast, and I'm really looking forward to your live commentary on Friday. Have a great evening and good night, JV, at Snooker Songs on Twitter. P.S. If you ever run out of new songs for Cue the Music, feel free to message me here or on Twitter. I have some songs that are not available on the internet. So there you go. So we will do a revisited Wallop on the request of Snooker Fan, which I don't think Tom will be that impressed about because he really hated that song. Did our Tom?
Well, I hated it because there was no snooker in it. But if we've made a mistake, that would at least explain why it's on Snooker Loopy. But how many versions of Wallop are there? Like, it's not a good enough song to have more than one version. I don't know why they're bothering.
Well, we will have to find out, won't we? So that is going to be something exciting for tomorrow, because we've sort of decided, as long as it's an early enough finish tomorrow, we're going to do a full sweep of our features, which is going to be nice, because of course first day of the semi-final is always a little bit dry. It's a weird day, a Thursday, and I assume not a lot will have happened tomorrow to discuss in the podcast itself. So we'll do full sweep of our features, and then of course on Friday night we will be doing our live commentary of the semi-final, and now we know it's going to be between Sean Murphy and John Higgins. It's going to be the Wizard versus the Magician. There's certainly going to be a few spells cast there, isn't there?
I think it'll be a magical evening, Joe.
Indeed it will. I've heard Harry Potter's going to be in the audience as well, just to keep an eye on proceedings.
And Murphy will get his big wand out.
Oh, I think he was going to do that anyway, but hopefully he can have his big wand out while he's doing the Smurf 360. I've been saying it's been more of a Smurf 180. Smurf 180 while it's been the two table setup. One table setup, got to be the 360 there. So what are you looking forward to tomorrow with the semi-finals kicking off?
It's just a different atmosphere, isn't it? It's a real different sort of thing at the Crucible, different energy, and you have a different kind of excitement as a viewer, knowing that players are so close to the final, and knowing that every frame could be really important, and sort of watching it all unfold. I think we've seen over the years that semi-finals is just a different kind of tension in the air, and different kind of excitement, and having a whole arena watching a match is just it's just a very, very special event, and of course having it at the Crucible just makes it even better at still being there. So yeah.
Absolutely, it's couldn't say it better myself. So, hope you all enjoy the one table setup. We're getting towards the end of the tournament now. That is always sad when we get to the one table setup. It'll be gone before you know it. So enjoy every little bit of it, and of course the seniors come in next week as well, including a two table setup at the seniors. So that's going to be interesting, and we'll be looking ahead to that in the coming days, I suppose. But yes, thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for bright and early for our full sweep of features in our podcast reviewing day 15. No, not day 15. It'll be day 13. Day 13 at the Crucible. And then we will be live on the air at 7 o'clock with some very special surprises, I'm sure, as we do a live commentary of session 3 of Higgins versus the Magician. We'll see you tomorrow.